What should happen versus what actually happens. That's the heart of the matter. Theoretically, a coin should land on heads 50% of the time. But if you flip it 10 times and get 7 heads, what does that mean? Your actual result, your experimental probability, was 70%. This simple calculation is called relative frequency. It's just the number of times an event happened divided by the total number of attempts. This seems basic, but it's the backbone of how we make sense of the real world. Imagine a factory finds that 2% of its light bulbs are faulty. That's their relative frequency, based on past data. Now they can reliably predict that in a new batch of 5,000 bulbs, about 100 will be broken. But here's the crucial part. How much data is enough? Toss a coin just 4 times, and you might get 4 heads in a row, a relative frequency of 100%. Does that mean the coin is rigged? No, it just means your experiment was too small for the true probability to emerge. This is where the law of large numbers comes in. It states that the more you run a trial, the closer your experimental result will get to the real theoretical odds. A single lucky streak doesn't matter much over 1,000,000 coin flips. The sheer volume of data irons out the randomness. This isn't just for games. Insurance companies live and die by this principle. Actuaries analyze decades of data to calculate the relative frequency of an 18-year-old having a car crash. They use that number to set your premium. If their math is wrong, they lose millions. It's how they turn the chaos of individual events into predictable, profitable patterns. So, from a simple dice roll to a multi-billion-dollar industry, relative frequency is about one thing: listening to what reality is telling us. And the more data we gather, the clearer its voice becomes.